two lines that intersect create these vertical angles, and this is something that you guys learned in geometry. So here are two lines that are intersecting with one another, and the angles that are opposite one another are called vertical angles, and they're going to be equal to one another, right? So that's basic, just basic stuff, reminding you. Parallel lines are lines that lie in the same plane and do not intersect, and they only exist in the world of Euclidean geometry. There probably is no such thing as a parallel line. I don't know. It's hard to imagine.
I won't find it in the real world.
Space is curved. All right. So in parallel lines, if you have a line that's not parallel, it's to those two lines, it's going to intersect with both of those lines. And it's going to set up an arrangement where we have these various angles. There's only going to be two types of angles. There's going to be the angles here that we would call 2 and 3, which are the same as 6 and 7, and then 5 and 8 are the same as 1 and 4. That line Q is just the word is called a transversal. I guess I couldn't have said that to you before this slide. So the actual definition, I suppose, isn't that important. But at least we all know the word and we can use it. That's cool. Yeah, that's right. Maybe we'll get to go outside in a little bit. Run around in the summer. All right, let's keep flashing through this. So, do you guys feel like you could do that? Who feels like they wouldn't be sure how to set that problem up? You would not? Yeah, it's not that difficult. Does anybody feel like they wouldn't be able to set that problem? You want me to set it up for you, Ash?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what is true here? What do we know? What do we know about? So we're trying to look for x, right? We're trying to look for x. And to solve for an unknown, it's nice to have an equation, right? It's nice to have an equation. How can we set up an equation with what we're looking at here? Yeah, well, we know 1 equals 4 because m and n are parallel, and the transversal is cutting across. Yep, that's right. And so that would be 2x equals, or minus 2x equals 38. So x equals 19, I think. Is that right? Oh, no, I went the wrong way.
And then from that we can find out too which would give us
the actual.
Well, there isn't an opposite.
So how many? Then, if I want to know how many degrees 1 was, what would I do?
Plug 21 in for x.
Yeah. Okay.
So 63 plus 2.
60. So then, what would angle? So what would angle 2 be then? That's it.
150.
Yep. Straightforward. All right. The angle sum of a triangle. This is such a fun activity. Do I have scissors? I should have brought scissors. This is like probably the most boring possible way to show this really amazing. Yeah. I do have scissors. Cool. Let's do it. He's got a knife.
2 of them. That's to each other.
Well, why don't I hand out your goniometers, and what you guys can do is take a page of your notebook and just draw a triangle. And take a page that you don't mind cutting out.
I don't have a notebook.
And if you need a piece of paper, I got one for you.
No. I have paper.
I ignore you, Molly.
Nope. No. Can I just take
Okay,
the cover of my
so what you're going to
notebook?
do is draw a triangle.
Do you think the teacher would
Just draw a triangle. Make sure that the edges are nice and sharp. Doesn't matter what. Yeah, just draw a triangle.
I draw a big triangle.
Sure.
Make it huge.
I'll make it as big as I can.
Nice notebook.
It's like melodious song of angels here at this camp, serenading us. Draw a triangle. You got it? Great. And then put a dot somewhere in the middle of your triangle. And then draw a dotted line from that dot out to the edge.
Does this have to be straight?
Any edge?
No.
Every edge?
Yeah, any edge. Just draw it out. It can be straight if you wish. Any edge
Measure every edge.
to all three edges. And then I'm going to hand around the scissors, cut out your triangle.
What?
I'm going to hand out the scissors, cut out your triangle. Oh man, I'm going outside.
My handwriting sucks, but I can definitely do straight.
Yes. It's nice. All right.
I don't know about you, but I like the rain.
See, maybe I have two scissors. I might have two. Hate the rain. You need to spend more time in the summer rain. It is fun.
I mean, it's a lot better than the freezing cold snow that you get in your boots.
I don't like rain.
I like the rain when it's warm. You know, I love warm
No,
rain.
because it's humid. Oh my god. Yeah, that's
I like cold rain because it
You
dries
live
out
in
the rest of the
Maine.
year.
Yes.
Oh, you want to hear about humidity?
I like fall.
I don't know what to say.
Boston.
Alaska. Sometimes
Like,
it's
that's what
very
everyone
humid, and it's scary when it does.
Who's next? Who wants this?
So do I cut out the dotted lines too?
So there was
Yes,
one time when
you are
Alaska
going
had
to cut out the
80
triangle, and then you cut out the dotted lines. You'll have to come back around to you
That
here.
was-
I'm looking for one
It would
now.
have scared the shit out of me if I walked outside and got ice all over me.
Okay.
It was forever ago.
Oh, you know what I should have done?
It's never happened again.
You know, what you can do is,
Anyone got a razor knife?
you already cut yours out,
Put it.
so let me think about that. Draw your dotted line in red and the outside line in green, but you don't have to worry about it.
Should I color code?
Cut that
There
in
it
pieces.
was.
Yeah, before he gets to you there, why don't you draw the outside line in green, the inside dotted line. And so, yeah, cut it up, and what you're going to do, I would,
Inside green
for
and-
you, I would put a green dot in the middle of each
Yeah.
corner.
Inside red, outside green.
Put a green dot, right, color the tip of each of those in green. What?
So what are we doing?
Yeah. Inside red, outside green, and for you, you can put a blue dot in the
Corner?
in each of the corners, right in the tip. Blue dot on the tip.
on all the tips.
Yep, all the tips.
Oh, I got purple.
Keep those scissors cut.
And now my asthma kills me because I'm using Sharpies.
Wait,
Should I kind of my
What?
pencil line or my marker line?
So what?
The buttons would
Pencil
have
or
more
marker
than
line?
Huh.
Yes.
But the biggest issue,
What are these things?
Really, all you
the
need to do.
biggest issue is
Yeah,
for me,
as long as you have
not
like
Sharpies, but
the dots are
No matter
colored
what
in,
one
that's
that is for me.
all you actually. You can outline it in red.
I
or
learned
green. Yeah, whatever you
We found out
want. You
that
just
works,
we're
though,
going to be using the three
is the other
corners.
that does not have aluminum. Think of it. Aluminum dioxide will literally kill you. And it's from that theorem. And because of me having a very sensitive nose
Fine.
and asthma and everything,
Wait,
I
you
can't
have the
even.
red line?
You know, the nice thing is, I'm right next to the office. I'll be back.
Great.
So where are the blue dots going?
On the tips.
Everyone's waiting on
Of
you.
the big triangle?
Okay, I have the scissors right now. Like, I don't think you guys understand. I have the.
If you say so.
Yeah, this one is color. I don't know what to do.
Yeah,
On the corner? Or?
Yeah, like this. Okay.
Look for the cap first.
Yeah,
I noticed.
Were we supposed to draw a dot somewhere?
Who needs scissors?
I do.
I didn't do it.
That was the
Thanks.
bedroom.
I was not about to throw markers down.
So
I take no responsibility for the actions that I do not
Yes.
commit and that are not my own.
could do kind of like this. Yeah, rip it. Yeah, if you don't want to wait for the scissors, you can rip it.
That sounds
So-
like a terrible idea.
Yeah, what you want. So put the triangle back in
No,
the
you really did.
No, I really did. Took me a second,
Yeah, put it
but
back.
I'm impressed.
That was a good pun.
No, I
It
don't.
was funny, James.
I'm a person.
Here, put a colored dot in each.
You were in chorus.
Oh,
I was an alto.
Altos are monotones sometimes?
No, put a colored dot
Have the
on each of the
very-
vertices of your triangle.
I will
You
smack
did it great.
I was
Yeah,
not
you did
gonna
it great.
say that.
May I have your?
You won't use you can't do sheet music any better
Here,
than
just
me.
put a little blue dot in the middle. of
Ow,
each
my
of the
legs.
I've been able to read all of them.
Like this?
Just the three of them.
Are the green
He will shoot
corners?
you.
Yeah,
Okay. Now, where did the marker go? It's in my pocket. No. Here it is. So you put dots in this corner, that corner, and this corner. And we've cut along the dotted lines.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, your dots are in different corners here.
So we're cutting along the dotted lines too.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Alright, so when I do this correctly, I have three pieces of triangle.
Yes, that's right. And now you're going to take
You
this
need
one. Let's leave this one right here. We're going to take this and bring this dot so that it's right next to that dot. So it's we've like taken it, stuck in it there, and then take this last dot and put it over there. So we're going to bring all three dots together.
Oh.
The heart.
this. This is not a heart.
Bring all three dots
You want some
together.
scissors?
Oh,
These
wait.
ones are yours?
Alright.
You confused
So
me.
like this.
That's exactly right.
Alright.
That's exactly right. And I would like you to line that up along one of the edges. How many degrees is that? Do they add up to? How many degrees do they add up to?
Yeah.
Exactly. Perfectly. Any random triangle.
That's
Every
cool.
single triangle adds up.
What? Wait, how does it do that, guys?
Because the angles all equal 180.
Hang on a second.
That is
Put your triangle back
literally
together.
how. Do you need me to explain?
No, I think I got it.
Because
Do you want me to explain? It
Oh.
shouldn't be weird.
You didn't go to the edge. You divided each of those angles in half. So the way that you would have to do it is cut each of those triangles along.
So,
So
want to see
you,
another magic trick?
your line should go like.
Look from opposite.
So now you'll have to cut each of them down along this and
Do
add
you know
these
It's
points
a.
up.
one of the is in
Does that make sense?
another one also isn't 180.
Let's see yours.
What?
Yeah. So you guys can tape that into your. Who needs these?
Oh.
I can say it.
You can tape it into your book to remind you.
Just tape.
We'll get some. Are we done with these?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
Wait.
Jacob.
It's flat, but it's not the right coordinates.
Oh my god, it's a rainbow
In
day.
fact, it's actually 90 degrees.
You're trying to really make it all along my Oh my god.
That's funny. That's really funny. Oh my
Paper
god.
gun.
You just shoot paper cuts at someone or something?
You're in a public school right now.
Yeah.
Someone will, like whip around the corner.
No, someone would yell. Someone would yell. Can you guess? Before I have to say it, when we cover it now? Do you know what it
I
is?
messed it up. I messed it up.
Are you remaking the triangle?
Dude, somebody actually that looked like like it's really a rectangle.
No!
You cannot call that
It's an assault.
How's it taste?
All right, here it is. You can tape it into your thing. All right.
What are we taping and why?
You can just like tape it into. Oh, you found one. Where was that?
right here.
Perfect.
Here.
Go for it.
I took all the tape.
I'm not sure where to tape this.
Tape it to that.
Oh my god, look,
Tape it to the
look at
paper
that. We
scrap.
made a double.
But why?
Is it
I already
flowers?
knew. I assumed this was just common knowledge.
The triangles were 180.
That if you connect the three opposite corners of a triangle, then it'll always be 180 degrees no matter what.
No, there's no such thing as common knowledge. All knowledge is uncommon.
You wanna know why? Because
Okay.
no matter what, the angles will always add up to
So,
180 degrees. So why
knowing
when you put them
what we
together,
now
out of a
know,
straight line. Sorry, my
I
brain
would
is a
tell you
very
that
logical
in a
thing.
triangle. So let's do this. Take your goniometers. Do this. Take your goniometer and measure, or unless you'd rather use a protractor. I have protractors as well.
So hard.
I didn't do it this
I'm
time.
gonna call Miss Whitney all the way in wherever she is.
She literally lives like 3 seconds down the road.
Miss Whitney?
You
Yeah,
can
you
walk
can
to
walk
her
her
house. It's the one farm that's like right down that
I'm
way.
gonna walk to Miss Whitney's house.
I've been to it.
You dropped her off my bus at Miss Whitney's house.
Okay, what do we got?
It's not looking. No, it looks like the lemonade stand.
Is it just me or
Who
is this
would
an
rather
airborne?
have a protractor?
It's an airborne.
And
says
so-
to the women, run in the stand. Hey! What?
Expression.
That would be great.
Okay.
What do you say?
You
You don't know what the answer
So
is?
I would like you to measure
Maybe
the
later.
angle of 2 of your vertices. 2 of them.
Okay, now that you've took a giant piece, take it. No, you really don't. I just need one more piece. Tiny piece.
James.
Look at that.
James.
Look at that.
Ta-da!
I need a lot of tape. 'Cause I don't want this coming off.
Kelly,
We
give
got
me your
tape.
finger.
We
I need
got
your
tape
ID.
galore.
Kelly, give me your finger. I'm not ready.
Wait, what did you say?
It's gonna
Tape
straight
galore.
top layer.
Yeah, measure the
Use it to
vertex.
plug into your phone.
The angle of 2 of the
creepy.
vertices.
Oh, there
Sure,
are
those
creepier
two.
things I could say and do it.
You need like, look at that. Now it's all straight down. You don't have any
Wait, do I need
Yeah,
to
oh yeah, measure this angle and then this angle. Where the dot is.
What do you want me to measure?
2 of the vertices. That one and this one. Yeah, or any 2 of them. It doesn't matter
Have
which.
you been told?
I think it's like
Tennis
symmetrical
ball,
gear.
rope,
It's tennis ball and duct tape.
For
tennis
what-
ball,
what do you mean?
rope, duct
Distracting
tape,
the school
and
Duct tape fixes everything.
I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking.
there's mostly tennis
What?
balls in
You're
there.
supposed to
That is so
You're
awesome!
supposed to throw them at the shooter.
Wait, what does the duct tape do?
If if
You can tie
apprehend him.
things.
Dude, we are
You can
so
apprehend them, you
using
can
that
duct tape the
stuff.
door. If you need to, you can duct tape
We
things
are
to the
so
windows.
using that
The
stuff.
rope though.
We'll put it back in case.
Would you like
if,
to
if
test
that?
school
Because I
shooters
know-
come, we'll throw protractors and goniometers at them.
And then the rope is
That's
for
not
James.
terrible
Right.
to say now in this day and
Or like
age.
a door ring.
With the body.
Can you just hold on? I need to get these tennis balls out, please.
Yeah, I know. It's right by the door too. So if they
Wait,
came in the
before
door,
you
they'd
shoot me.
be next to the
I think we
tennis
should
ball.
leave. I think we should.
Dr.
Leave
Bleepak. Wait,
Okay.
before you
Like,
shoot
keep
me,
it like
I have a
right
tennis ball.
there. So if they come in the door.
And I know how to use it.
If you've got your two angles measured, I would like you to then
How do?
calculate for me what your
How
third
do
is.
I use that?
Don't tell me.
Oh, sure.
Kelly?
Yes.
You could do like that. You get one
I accidentally
edge
made an
lined
exact
up along
90
the
degree
zero,
angle.
and then you look at where the second edge comes. So that looks like about one.
Do you wanna look at this?
No, I don't. Okay. I trust you.
I'm insane.
I trust you.
I accidentally made an exact 90 degree angle, and that scares me. How do you accidentally do that?
Yeah.
How does that just happen?
It happens.
Okay. So
It has- Yes.
Am I supposed to-
Right up.
Yeah.
Okay. And the angle measuring, that looks like it's about like 60.
No.
64 degrees. See how that works?
Yeah, thank you.
So on two of the vertices, write down the angles, and then I would like you to calculate for me what the third must be. Set it up and
Well, that's nice. I like
super easy.
Do you want me to measure mine now that I've done that?
Super easy.
My third angle?
Yeah, and then you can test it after calculating it by measuring.
I think I'm just
about 55 and 66.
I understand that.
Thanks
There'll
for
certainly be
remembering to
days where I'll
subtract.
be yeah. What's that? Well, just set up. Don't do it all in your head. If you need to, just put it on the paper. It's good to get practice setting up. Here's some. Did you do it? That's it. Yeah, and then double check. 45. Oh yeah. No, 180 is 35. So that would be what?
So
This
that
one?
should be good.
Or no, this one. That's 105 and 40. Yeah.
Kelly, because mine's 90, I have the unfair advantage if I don't just subtract from mine.
Okay.
Alright, that could
Is it right?
be close. It's off by like 1.
Cool.
So I get the unfair advantage just because I start with 9. I don't is it minus from 180? Because either way, it's still 90. So I get the unfair advantage just because it's subtract one from the other.
No, I don't like this one with tables. I guess I could set a table up, but I wouldn't be able to walk around. Should
So
I?
one of your rooms don't have. How the frick am I supposed to do?
Do you want me to set one up for you?
Oh no, it's fine. That wasn't directed.
No, I don't mind. I realize that, but I could put a table like this. Block me from wandering around
Is that what you're doing?
like a caged animal.
Yeah.
Are you an elephant?
No.
So your name isn't Torton? Great band, based off of what?
Third angle
Or
of
here's the
triangle.
news.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, you
Ah,
wanna know a
ah,
funny story
either-
about that?
Do you know
Yeah,
the
I
yeah.
found
Don't
out.
even
So
start it.
my sister,
But yeah, that's
she's
what
in
kids
college
do
now.
on stage.
She lives in Colorado. She had a
You've
crush
seen
on this
this
guy
guy?
since like middle school.
Yeah.
He was like a. She met her like. She met him. He was a girl. Anyway, they just got engaged.
That is
Romance
so
lives.
sweet.
Romance is alive. It's nice.
Dude, aren't you married?
Who, me? Yeah, I have all the romance. I'm fine.
Your wife.
It's a good sign
Wait,
that
how
you're
did you
lonely.
guys meet?
Oh man, that
Oh,
story.
I remember part of this story.
Did I tell that story
You
just
didn't
recently?
finish it,
You
but you
didn't
told
come.
us.
I did,
But
yeah.
he never finished it.
That's right. He did. There was some girl,
There was,
and then he was
you
like,
left
and
it
then
off at this one girl.
some girl came up, and your wife
In
was
the party,
talking to her,
and you were
then
dancing.
she was about to
No,
say
that's a
something.
little bit off. I met my wife at a party and we started dating, and then months later, like she was at a party and she was dancing, and like everybody else was just drinking and talking, and it was lame. Oh, I'll dance with this person who's dancing. It was cool. There's like two other girls dancing. The three of them were all dancing, and she was like trying to talk to me, but I wasn't trying to listen to her talk at a dance party. And then,
Ouch.
well,
My wife was talking. I ignored her.
no, I just couldn't hear. Like talking at a dance
Still.
party, it doesn't ever work.
No, it doesn't.
Am I allowed to eat food in this class?
Yeah.
This was stolen
And-
from me, so I stole it.
And then months later, we were taking a walk. Months later, we were taking a walk, and she was talking about this person, Heidi, that was in my lab. She was talking and talking. I was like, wait a second, how do you know Heidi? She's like, what do you mean, how do I know Heidi? She's like our mutual friend. It was the first time we met. I was like, what? What are you talking about? And it turns out I had actually gone to dinner with my wife and her then boyfriend
Yeah.
years before, and there was like a bunch of people. It was like 15 people all at dinner, and she had been mutual friends with other person that worked in my lab. Whatever. I had been dating her, and she apparently never would have talked to me or like been interested at all if she didn't already know me at that dance party. I did not even realize. Yeah, I'd been dating her for months and didn't realize that. Oh,
Bro.
Molly.
What
Are you?
is
I
this?
like. I want.
What is no, that's
That's
right.
it.
Yeah,
You're
that's
good.
right.
And put a dot in the corner, right?
Yeah.
Put all the three purple dots together. Yeah. See? Yeah, it works. Okay. So, and everybody verify that the two angles, you add them up, and then the third one is minus 180. You get the answer. All right, so that's that lesson. Next, types of triangles. So, yeah. A right triangle is one in which one of the angles is 90. Is it a doubly right triangle if both of them are 90? If there's two?
Well, then it's not a
It's
triangle.
not a triangle.
No, you can't have two right. In the triangle. And then what about an acute
Actually,
triangle?
you could in a fourth dimensional plane.
In acute triangle, all three angles are acute. And in an obtuse triangle, one of them is...
Think of it cute this way. All the angles are so small that they look cute.
can you have an obtuse triangle that has a 90-degree angle in it as well? Why?
Because then it's a right angle. Because in an obtuse triangle, only one of the angles is more than 90. The other ones have to be smaller.
Okay. Some more definitions. You guys remember these from geometry, right?
Yes.
Equilateral means
All sides
That-
the same.
equa, meaning the same, lateral, the lateral edges. Isosceles. I have a friend whose middle name is Isosceles.
That's interesting.
Yeah, her name is Isis Isosceles,
That's kind of cool.
but she changed her first name to Ibis because of the terrorist group.
Oh, makes sense.
Yeah. And then just a wild scaling triangle is got three sides that are all different. All right. So similar triangles. For triangle ABC to be equal to triangle DEF, following conditions must hold. What are those conditions before I flash them? We've already gone through this. I already went through this. Do I need to do it again? No.
No.
Okay. I don't think I need to go through any of this again. Okay, this is all stuff you've already seen. Back to the flagpole. So I think it's time for this part. Okay, here we go. Maybe we'll get to go outside yet. All right. So here's the problem, right? Worker, this is our flagpole. This is the way the book would have you do it. This is the way the book would have you do it. Yeah, this was our mission. Determine the height of the flagpole on campus. The book would have you measure the shadow. It needs to be a sunny day in the book, right? And you measure
exactly how far the way the shadow is.
Yeah, and what's the other problem with this? It needs to be sunny. It's got to be
You have to have a
level.
literal perfect flat surface, and that doesn't exist on a rounded world.
Well, yeah, but within the air, there's plenty of flat space. Flat enough.
Oh my god.
Okay.
It was actually.
The Earth is round.
Says who?
The Earth is round.
If
Space
it
is
makes you feel
curved.
any better, if you jump off flat Earth, you always will land on flat Mars.
Oh, I have a question.
Yes. Yes.
Would you rather be? I know. Would you rather be given a?
This is, you sound like my son. He
How old's
asks
your
me
son?
these questions. He's 10. And he
Oh.
asks me these questions non-stop.
This is my favorite
All the
question to
time.
ask you.
How
All
much
the
money?
time.
Everybody
Like, these
always
kind of
takes the
questions.
money. I
Wait,
would
how
want to
much
see it.
money?
I would totally go to space.
24 hours?
Yeah.
To get launched into
that's
space, I think
scary.
it's something like 27 million.
Imagine seeing outer
So-
space, like the frick, like see. Like,
See, that's not even why I'd go. I'd
I've
go
had
because
dreams
it's like
about
27
it.
million
I've
to
already
launch someone
been
into
there.
space. And to get them back, it's just as expensive. Well-
Let me meditate on that. I'm not going to give you my immediate
Not
response.
as much if you smoke cigarettes, at least.
Okay, so they're doing this based upon similar triangles, right? They do similar triangles. This is the math. So they say that the flagpole is 15 meters high. There is a better way. I'm here to tell you, eager young minds. Yeah, there's a fly. What a strange thing. What is that better way?
Trigonometry.
Trig.
Oh, I knew it.
Good job.
Yeah. Way to go. All right. Let's start this class. All right. We are going to establish the trigonometric functions. All right? And to do that, we're just going to create a right triangle. All right? So let x and y be some point that's not the origin. And we're going to drop a straight line down to the x-axis. So the length of the hypotenuse, does everyone remember that word?
Yes.
Hypotenuse. That would be a fun name for someone.
What did you say, Sauce?
Does anybody know what this is called? R equals square root of x squared plus y squared.
Yeah. I read about that.
Okay.
Do you guys remember?
So specific.
I'll give you a clue. It has to do with a dead person.
Oh. Okay. I don't know.
It's named
So is
after someone
everything
who's
else in this
dead.
God.
The way that you enunciate dead concerns me.
He's dead, and it was not me. Didn't
And do
do
we
it,
know this how? Prove it. Prove that it wasn't you.
'cause I wasn't born yet. He's long dead.
You
It's,
do
it's a
realize
he.
that this
I'm
is
letting
a science
I'm letting the
teacher.
pronoun
He
out of the
has
bag.
a time machine in his basement.
He was.
Great.
Yeah. Pythagoras. You guys
Oh,
heard of
It was
Oh,
Pythagoras?
Pythagorean's theorem.
Yes.
Pythagorean
But that's not
theorem.
Pythagorean
Okay.
theorem.
It's the Pythagorean theorem. Yeah. So that
Pythagorean.
the hypotenuse equals squared equals the two sides squared. This is super convenient. It is super useful. The Pythagorean theorem, I know it as a squared equals b squared plus c
Yeah, that's
squared.
right.
Right? You
See,
can call
the
it
issue with
r squared equals x squared plus y squared. Whatever you want to call it. The hypotenuse squared equals the other two sides squared. So let's see what that means. Let's see what that means. Where is my marker? I don't want to write in Sharpie.
That sounds smart.
It's right here.
What is that telling us? What does that mean to you? That a squared equals b squared plus c squared. Let's draw this. Let's draw
Hypotenuse
this.
equals length a times, or length a squared plus length b squared.
Okay. Let's get it nice and 90 here. Yeah, perfect. I am perfect.
See, I just
So what this triangle is way too big to do what I want to do. It is. But we'll use this. Here we go. Just like that. And then this edge doesn't matter so much. Just do this.
we'll figure it out.
There's a triangle. Pretty nice triangle. So this is to say that a
Ow.
squared.
I know, my second notes.
How do you represent that geometrically? What does that even mean? What does it mean to square something? Yeah. What do you think, Molly? Give me some thoughts. Give me deep thoughts. Geometrically, how do I interpret that? That a squared. What is a squared? Geometrically. A times a. Thank you. And what's another way to describe that in terms of a shape? A times a describes the area of what shape? A square. What kind of square? Well, what kind of square? Describe for me a little bit more about the square. It's a square. How big is the square? What are the dimensions of the square?
Purple.
A.
I like my answer better.
Hey. Yeah.
Hey.
So it's a square.
My answer is
Let's
a
see
lot
here.
better.
It's a square that has dimensions. Oops. It's going to be a square that has this area, right?
Yeah.
And b squared is
Oh yeah, I've done.
so now if
Plus,
I
he's
were
gonna
to
love it.
take if I had this much paper and this much paper, I could take that and stick this square onto this square and then cut this one up and fill in the gaps and perfectly and uniquely fill in this area with these two areas.
That's cool. We should do that too.
Let's do it. Why not? You want to try it?
Oh
See?
yes.
Let's cut
Maybe
out some
I'm-
more paper.
Maybe I'm fooling you. Maybe that's not what that means. You want to try it?
Let's do it.
Yeah, why not? Because we only have 10 minutes left.
Let's
What
do
else are we
it.
going to get done today?
We're gonna cut out paper.
Oh, we only have 10
So-
minutes left?
Draw another triangle, but this time, what's special about the triangle? It is a right triangle.
Good job.
So make sure that one of your angles, and particularly you, this is really nice that you got graph paper.
It is no longer available
should,
for you or anyone else.
If you have an opportunity to get yourself some graph paper,
I
you
wanted to
should.
get those. I have
You know, I could maybe bring in some notebooks that have lines on the bottom and graph on the top. It's actually
Is that a thing?
It is a thing, yeah. Composition books where the top half is graph and the bottom half is lines.
So I need to make like a small right triangle.
Yeah.
So that's just
Can I use this?
It-
If I were to cut along the line, it would still be a right triangle.
James, follow your bliss.
I'm just thinking about it.
How's it going, though? Looking good.
Oh, my
one
mind
thing
is
about
up.
this, remember, this is going to be, yeah.
Oh
Yeah, keeping in mind, like imagining
no.
the page, imagine your page like this. In fact, that's right, you have right triangles right in your kits, don't you?
Right, so now.
We still have our kits?
So now, you're going to measure this side and make a square that's like that. Measure this side and make a square that's like that. Square like that. And then, you're going to cut this square and that square out and tape them into the big square.
Oh my god, no.
Wait, oh no, I put it too close to the edge. I didn't make a square or something.
Hello?
Like, I need to put it more in the center.
Well, you know what you can do? You can actually just measure this side and then make a square that size out of it.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense? And measure this side and make a square that size and make a
Wait, how do you this
So, right. So you are going to use your protractor and draw a 90-degree off of it. And then a 90-degree off of that line. Measure its length, and at that point, along there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you gotta get your you get your tape measure. You can paste it off. The geometric proof of Pythagorean theorem. See, that's the thing. Like all of these things that you were taught, that you learned, they have physical manifestations. They are ways of looking at the physical universe. So while we can just see them as lines on a piece of paper, on a screen, on a chalkboard, they also live out in the real world. They live out in the real world.
That's as straight as I can do.
Looking good.
And as square as I can do.
Who
This isn't
needs,
gonna be fun
where
for
did the
you.
scissors go?
You brought them back to the office.
No, I brought hers back, but what about the pair I? The green, oh, she's got it. Should I go get the scissors from Miss Manter? Okay, you guys keep drawing.
Yeah, that one square is never going to be.
I never. Why did
I know, now this makes sense.
Now I-
Why did I
After
never learn
like
any of this?
10 years of knowing what it is, now I finally know why it is.
I mean, this is my third time doing it. Yeah, my old school made me do it twice.
Did you also just accidentally right? That's
Yeah,
like,
you just act.
When you
You're
do that,
a
that's
whole
concerning.
nother
That's what it is. And now I can't do right angles anymore. For some reason, I don't think you're concerned at all.
I
yeah,
am
I kind of
always
feel like that was
concerned.
sarcasm.
Callie.
I can draw perfect.
Callie.
I definitely mistaken.
For some reason, I doubt that.
Okay, who needs them?
When your numbers are upside down, you're
So what you're going to do is you're going to cut out this square and that square. See, is that your hair? So I would use the square edge here, James, to make sure you got that. I would use this to make sure that you really got a good 90 on it. So it doesn't look- See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That doesn't look like- Yeah, use these squares for that part. Who needs one of these two?
Can I just use this triangle?
Oh, good. So, and that is
It was
what?
only a triangle.
I
It
have
doesn't
the
work
other
for
one.
anything.
Yeah. So cut out the two smaller ones, and then you're going to tape them onto the large ones. In fact, you can outline that in a different color marker if you really want to do that. Really? What do you got? Looking good.
This is
So
so
cut
exciting.
that and that out. The scissors went over here. I feel good. Today I finally
Feel
memorized
successful.
the last of my students' names. Sam was the last one. Yeah. I don't know her last name.
Does she go by Sammy?
I don't know. Sam. She's really sweet. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's what you're doing. Callie colored her squares in so she can tell the difference.
I have highlighters.
So-
Good.
My highlighters are right. My highlighters
I
are
decided it'd be a good idea to use this triangle. No, look.
Maybe you can do it
I need
like
more paper.
this
I need a tiny
and cut it and that. And that. Here, let me give you some tape.
Can I have some scissors? Is there any scissors free?
There are scissors free.
Buses?
There's
I
some
heard
tape.
them earlier.
Scissors are.
Them left.
Wait, where are they? Where are the scissors?
We have a smaller right triangle.
Still using them?
Because I can't somehow do another triangle one. That's like a one-time thing. I know it doesn't work.
Hiding them. Where is it? Oh, Sydney doesn't have it.
Well, you know what?
I'm gonna have to invest in scissors for this class, aren't I?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, I might have some.
I got a knife and tennis balls. I'm so stoked. So stoked. But that rope, the rope is cool, man. We're definitely
What
gonna
the
use that
hell?
rope. It means I can put my
See,
like
with $300.
my rope back in my.
I thought you
I'm
were
sorry
talking
for
about
him.
using it like what it was put here for.
We'll use it for that. Well, no, I intend to never have to use it for that.
Yeah. I'm like, are you just gonna set up a trap or what?
We'll use it.
Yeah, we'll use it.
Thank you.
Actually,
I am excited about the tape and the rope. I don't know what's gonna happen. But this rope is really cool. How did you find out what was in there?
One of the
and I was
teachers,
like, why the heck is there a bunch
Mr.
of
Richardson,
tape?
opened it and showed us everything. Opened up the rope and everything. That way it was
What do you
there.
do with the tape? You tape them up?
If you can
this
have
thing
a
has
heads
some
and
kind of like
belts.
seminar on this thing called like the Atlas
Ah,
program,
using
and it's like
tape.
a type of
You know what I would do with it?
No.
way that they go about like
You know
talking
what I would
about
do?
it's which honestly I think it's a better approach because it's not like it's
Can I-
literally
I
nothing
you
you
can
can
even
lock
sue
down.
you.
Yeah.
I sue you.
Yeah.
So it's
I
about
know.
like
You know what I
Being
did?
like-
story.
Duct tape
like
ball.
learning how to like think on your which is good.
Oh,
But it's
hell
not-
yeah.
Duct tape one.
I
I
would-
Yes, that's
Long
the best
time
thing.
ago.
Right out
If there was
the middle
ever
of
an
the
emergency,
I'm out.
I would
I
go
am out.
tell a freaking
One of the-
commando
one of the-
immediately.
I
I
know
am
people
definitely a
start
person
complaining.
that would.
Just tennis ball, duct tape.
I wouldn't.
No, duct
have
tape.
a moment.
Duct tape the tennis ball all the way
Wasted.
around there.
And that's what they're trying to teach kids.
They go to take it off and
Like,
they'll regret
for
it.
some reason, like public schools think that.
They leave
I
it home,
think
they'll
it's
still
the whole
regret
idea
it.
that, like, I think lockdowns like were like put in place if there was like ever like a criminal on the loose, but like that's not.
Remember when the criminal guy was on the loose last year?
Yeah,
and they were all hiding?
That's when a lockdown would actually be helpful. But like
That was not helpful. There was no
I
bathroom in
can't
the building
really-
that I was in for like 5 hours.
No, but I
And it's
understand
so
why
bad.
they was on lockdown. But
You wanna know what I did?
Yeah,
It's like, he didn't even lock down though. I cleaned the office.
You wanna
It was
know?
stuck in the office.
You wanna know how it was for me?
Tape
A
it,
bunch of
cut
kids
it.
were complaining,
You know, like,
oh, but hiding along the wall is gonna help, and I'm like, no.
So,
the
what I would
windows are
like you to
actually
do
far from the
is-
wall, the outside wall has insulation.
We only have 2 minutes left.
And they were like,
I would like you to take what you have home and finish off taping and cutting up into little
Most of the
teeny
windows here
bits
are
and,
bulletproof.
proving to yourself
Well,
that a squared equals b
There's no
squared
such
plus
thing
c
as real
squared.
bulletproof
And
glass.
then I
It's
would
an
like
incredible
you
bolster, it's not
to
even
go
better,
to the
and it's gonna-
Wikipedia page
if it gets
for
through to the outside.
Pythagoras and read a little bit about him.
A point blank gunshot to that
Can you
window
guys do
is
that?
gonna figure out through
Read
it.
a little bit
It
about
won't force
the
hurt you anymore.
Pythagoras and the story behind the Pythagorean theorem. This is the
These shots are
history
the
of it.
exact same
There's a
place,
story
but
there.
unless it's automatic. It's gonna
And
move
otherwise, you can give me your stuff and pack it up and eat on out of here.
you know how much automatic is. It's gonna move. But yeah, the windows are actually safer to stand right up against. Like, it's safer to stand up against that door than it would be to stand up against that. Because that wall has nothing but a couple walls. Pretty much. Inner walls don't have insulation.
Okay, you guys.
Yours?
Thank you.
So is
Did
that
you
good?
guys get the homework that I gave you?
Yes.
I have